Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about tracking phone calls. So anybody who lands on your website, they give you a call, where did they come from? And how we're going to do that is by utilizing number pools. And so we're going to set up a number pool in GoHighLevel, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works, how it tracks the person who lands on your website, and what happens when they make that call. And so let's dive into it. So let's start with what is a number pool? So a number pool is essentially a swapped number on your website that tracks the attribution. And so why is tracking with number pools so critical? So imagine you're running multiple ads across different platforms. So someone sees your ad on Facebook or Google or Microsoft, and they get interested, they click through to your website, and they decide to give you a call. Well, we now have a problem. If you're using the same phone number everywhere, how do you know which ad brought them to you? How do you know where they came from? And that's where number pools come into play. So making sure you're not flying blind on inbound calls in your marketing efforts. So how number pools work. Let's break down how number pools work, especially when using CRM software like GoHighLevel. There's other softwares out there that can do number pools like CallRail, which I've used in the past, and it works pretty well. But GoHighLevel actually has a native number pool within their software that we're going to talk about today and set up for you guys. So think of a number pool as a collection of numbers that you own. And when someone visits your website, the software will automatically swap the default contact number with a unique number from this pool. And the process is seamless. It runs in the background and it happens in real time. So anybody on your website, they don't even notice anything out of the ordinary. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works. And here's the magic. This unique number that gets swapped in is tied to that person, and it captures the URL that they land on. So when they give you a call, you know exactly where they came from. And so what's actually happening is they land on your site, the script running in the background of your site will capture the URL that they landed on, then swap the number to a unique number that only shows to that person. And so that URL is going to capture all of their attribution, and we know it's them because that number was only shown to that person. So when the visitor calls this swapped out number, it captures not just the call, but also the landing page URL and any query parameters behind it. So this means you get a clear picture of where your leads are coming from, which allows you to make data-driven decisions and send back offline conversions. You'll be able to see which ads are driving calls, and more importantly, which ones are leading to actual sales. And this level of tracking phone calls is absolutely necessary if you want full attribution, because it allows for precise tracking on a medium, campaign, ad group, and even ad level, and you're not guessing anymore. You have hard data on inbound phone calls showing you where your marketing dollars are making an impact. And with tools like GoHighLevel, which I'm going to show you, this process is all automated, saves you time, effort, and it's super easy to set up. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So why are number pools so important? Why should you care? Because in the world of marketing, knowledge is power. The more you know about how and why people are contacting you, the better you can optimize your campaigns. You can allocate your budget more effectively, doubling down on what's working, cutting what doesn't, sending offline conversions back to Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and anywhere else. So they can then optimize your campaigns for you. And if you're not tracking phone calls, then you're not giving them all of the information. So ultimately that's going to lead to better ROI and more success for your business. So in summary, number pools offer a smart way to track phone call attribution, giving you the insights needed to refine your marketing efforts. And by using a CRM like GoHighLevel to manage this process, you're setting yourself up for clearer insights and better results. So if you're not using number pools yet, now's the time to take a look, and I'm going to set it up for you guys right now. Okay, first thing I'm going to show you guys is what it looks like when you receive a phone call. And so I'm going to go to a campaign. Let's do last 30 days. And let's get one that has some data in it. All right, so what I'm going to do is find a few that have phone calls, just so I can show you guys exactly how it looks when somebody calls you. So I have some tags here when we receive an inbound call. So let's look at that one. Let's look at this one. And let's look at this one. All right. And so basically, when I receive a call to the number pool, I tag them as inbound call received. And so I know that it's coming from a call, right? So looking at this lead, so you can see that they went to this page and they ended up calling. Well, you'll also see, if you look at the bottom of my screen, that when they called, it actually links a URL that they landed on to that call. You can see it at the bottom of the screen, and you have full attribution, including the Google Click ID, when they actually call you, right? And so you'll see that across the board. So this one, boom, you see the URL at the bottom, you see paid search full attribution, and this one as well, you see a page visit, you see the call itself, when the contact is created, again, URL at the bottom, again, paid search, right? Google Click ID, right? So basically, I'm capturing full attribution when a call comes in from anybody who lands on my website, which is massive. And so I'm going to show you guys exactly how to set it up right now. And I'm going to start by purchasing a number pool. So let's hop right into this. So give me a second. I actually was recording this and it wasn't recording, so I have to go through again. So I'm just actually going to delete this one, and we're going to start from scratch. All right. So let's refresh the page here. And so if you're coming from like the home screen, what you want to do is go to settings and go to phone numbers right here. And then we're going to go number pools, and we're going to refresh this, and it should show none. Oh, yeah, there we go. Refresh. It's still showing that last one, but it's not there anymore. And what I'm going to do is add a number pool, okay? So when I go to add the number pool, there's a few options. You have marketing campaign, which is one phone number. And so if you select this and you go to next, you can actually do multiple options. Like you can do like, if it's search and it's Google and it's paid, and you know that you're sending them all to one specific landing page, and it's all coming from like the same campaign, same ad group, same ad, then you can just use one phone number because you know everybody landing there is just using that one, right? But what I recommend, and I recommend to everyone, is to, looks like my screen froze a little bit. All right, there we go. So if I'm going to create a new number pool, and I don't know why it's showing that number pool again, because it should be gone, but I'm going to create a new number pool here, and I'm going to say visitor activity, right? So I don't want just one phone number. I want to track multiple people coming to my site from multiple different sources, right? Because it could come from Google, it could come from Facebook or Microsoft or a referral or whatever it may be. And I want to capture all of that attribution. And so what I'm going to do is visitor activity. I'm going to go next, and I'm going to say all visitors, right? I don't want to narrow it down to anything. I don't want it to be on a specific landing page or URL parameter. I want all visitors. And I'm going to go next to create the pool. I'm going to name this test YT pool. And I'm going to say pool size 4. So minimum pool size is 4. You need at least 4 numbers. And basically the rule of thumb is however many people are coming to your site every hour, you need at least a quarter of that with numbers. So if you have 12 people coming to your site, you need 4 numbers. If you have 20 people coming to your site, you need 5 numbers. If you have 100 people coming to your site per hour, you need 25 numbers. And that's to ensure that when that number is shown to somebody, it is only shown to them. And if you receive a call, you know exactly where that call is coming from and where they came from, right? Because if, let's say, you have 50 people coming to your site an hour, but you only have 2 phone numbers, well, everyone's just going to keep seeing the same number. And then when somebody calls you, you have no idea where they came from. And so general rule is for every 12 people get 4. For every 4 people that come to your site, have at least 1 number, basically. All right. Another thing that's massively critical here, you need to ensure that you forward your calls to a number that is not on your system. If you use a lead connector or GoHighLevel phone number as a forward to number, the number pool will not work. It will not forward the call. So wherever you're pointing your numbers out from GoHighLevel, use that number to forward your calls to, whether it's your call center or your cell phone or whatever it may be, right? If you try to forward to a number that's in high level, it will not route out, right? So what I'm going to do is just put a random number. 1212. Okay. So now I have test YT pool. I have pool size 4. I'm going to say the swapping number is not the same as the forwarding number because I want the swapping number to essentially be the number on my website. So I'm going to use this number, which is the number on my website here. I'm going to say this is the number to swap. Okay. And I'm going to acknowledge that I'm purchasing and adding 4 new phone numbers. I'm going to say next to choose the numbers. And I'm going to say I want toll free because I want toll free numbers on my website, right? So area code, I'm going to say 888. Let's see if there's some available. Okay, excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. I'm going to go next to the number features. Now, these are all personal preference, right? If you want a whisper message to talk to the person before it transfers the call, which I don't necessarily like because someone could be sitting there. And then call recording, I can enable this, and it basically says this call will be recorded for quality assurance purposes. And I'm going to activate the numbers. This takes probably like 5 seconds. And once this is done, I should have 4 numbers that will be part of a number pool that'll be used by the system. So right here, boom, test YT pool, all visitors as the source, which you can change later if you need to. 4 numbers. This is the number that they all forward to. And there's a couple things. So first thing I'm going to do is go into the edit configuration because there's a couple more settings that you want to take a look at. So the first is the forwarding number. You want to make sure it's active, obviously. You have swapping numbers, same as forwarding number, and I have it selected as no, right? Because remember, we're forwarding the number to wherever we want it to go. Now, if this is like your client's phone number that they've always had, even better, because you can leave their number on the website, and then you can just have all of these number pool calls forward to that number that it's not on the GoHighLevel platform. So big plus there. But anyway, so if you're not swapping the same number as the forwarding number, you want to enter the swapping number. If you happen to have multiple numbers on your website, you want to enter all of them here as well. I typically recommend to people to just have one number on every page of their website and just use that one number as a swapping number so you don't confuse the system. But so that's what we're going to do here. And so we also pass the called number as caller ID. I don't use that. Enable call connect feature. I don't use that either because the person has to press a button to accept the call. Remember, no whisper message. I will have call recording on. I have no timeouts for incoming or outgoing calls. And I'm going to save this just to make sure. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is look at the number pool info, right? And so there's a few things here. You have the local and international format. There, it basically tells you if you don't want to replace certain numbers, you can use a class no swap. So like if you have a number in your footer that you don't want to change, you can add some code to ensure that it doesn't. I want every number to change. I want everyone that calls me to be tracked. So I don't use that, and I'm not going to talk too much about it. And this is the actual JavaScript that you're going to want to put on your site, right? You can just hit the copy button and you can copy it right to your clipboard. This is what we're going to do next. I'm going to show you guys how to put it into a GHL website. I'm going to show you how to put it into a WordPress website. I'm going to show you how to quickly add it to your Google Tag Manager if you use Google Tag Manager. I'm not going to tell you how to set up Google Tag Manager, but I'll tell you how to just quickly add this JavaScript if you're not too familiar with Tag Manager. So again, we have 4 phone numbers here. So here's the number that's going to be on the site that I want to swap. And here's the 4 numbers that we'll swap in, right? And I'll give you some examples. So if you look at this page, this is a WordPress website. And if I refresh the page, it is just this number, okay? 888-612-7629. And this is the number that I want to swap. I want to know that anybody who comes to my website, when they land, they do not see this number. They see the number pool number. And when they call that number that tracked their URL, I know exactly where they came from. All right, but I'm going to start by showing you how to set this up in a GoHighLevel site. So I have an example SaaS site here. And really what we're going to do is we're going to change out a couple numbers. I'm going to show you what they look like first. So on this site, at the very bottom of the site, there is a phone number to call, right? 888-612-7629, right? That's the default number, same number we're working with. But up here in the header of the site, we actually have a call us. And if you look at the bottom left of my screen, you'll see 888-612-7629, right? It matches this number, and that's the number that they're going to call, right? Now, if you go to the contact us page, you also see office number 888-612-7629, right? So, and if I refresh this, it's going to show me the same thing, 888-612-7629, same here. If I refresh this page, 888-612-7629, right? Now, if I go into my site, right, and to get here is dashboard, and you come into sites, and then you go to the websites, and then you go to the example site, and then you go to settings. And within the settings, you have a header and a body, right? And so body tracking code, all I'm going to do is paste that code right in here. All right. Now, if I save this with the JavaScript, which I'm going to do right now, now you have your number pool set up on your site. It's that easy, right? So you just add it in settings. Now it's basically site-wide settings. Have the JavaScript of your number pool right here on site. And so now if I go back here, and you remember 888-612-7629 is the normal number. If I refresh this page, did you see the number swap? Now it's 888-599-5431. And if you looked really closely right there, you could see that the original number was there for a split second, and then this number replaced it. And now, by replacing that number, it captured the URL. And if I then call this number, it's going to attribute the URL that I landed on to me because I called this number. And so if I only have 4 numbers, and 4 people come to my site, the 5th person will probably get this number, and it'll probably overwrite the URL. So I kind of recommend the more numbers you have for the number pool, depending on your overall volume to your site, the better. But here's the fun part, the call us button. So the call us button, if I were to click this, if you see on the bottom left again, 888-599-5431. So even behind the button, that JavaScript is replacing the number to call. So even if they can't see the number, if they click to call and you have the code to call there, it's going to replace it with your number pool phone number. All right. Now, if I go to the contact us page, if you remember 612-7629, but if I go to that page from here, you see it swap again. Now it says 888-609-3225. All right. Now let's just take a look. So 888-609-3225. 888-609-3225. So that is one of my number pool numbers. Right. And so it's very important that you put this JavaScript on all pages of your site to ensure that you get proper tracking for everyone coming to your site. All right. And again, when they land on your page, it will track the exact URL they landed on and give them a specific number to call. All right. So now we're going to talk about, and that's it actually. For a GHL website, if you have that script added to the body tracking code, you're all set. Now the number pool will work. It'll swap in the number. You'll capture all the attribution. So now I'm going to show you guys how to build this out in WordPress. So I'm going to come over here. Do I have WordPress open? Yeah, I do. So if you go into WordPress for your site and you're in the dashboard area, most people who are more familiar with like PHP and coding, they're going to go into Appearance and Theme File Editor. They're going to edit the PHP file. They're going to add this to the body of the file. But actually, most people probably don't do that. I mean, if you're not a coder, you don't want to mess with the code, right? So what I recommend to everyone is to go to plugins, find a plugin called Code Snippets, okay? This is just what I recommend. It's the one I use. There's a ton of them out there to modify like header and footer, but I specifically use Code Snippets. And what I do, when I download the plugin Code Snippets, you just come down to it, go to header and footer, and this allows you to modify the header, body, and footer, right? And so what I'm going to do is just take that JavaScript, I'm going to paste it right here. And if you'll remember, I'm going to go, let's say we go incognito here, and I'm going to go to reachunleash.com. All right. And you can see that this is actually currently swapping out. I think that's just cookied because I just made this video. I had to redo it. So basically, what I want to ensure is that within my WordPress, in code snippets, in the body, I paste this code into the body. All right, so I'm going to save the changes here. And once I save the changes, if I were to go to reachunleashed.com, it should swap. It might not, just because, again, I had to redo this video. But let's give it a shot. So 888-612-7629 is currently here. And, oh, I didn't want to go there. Reachunleashed.com. All right, 888-521-1168. So let's look in the system to see if that's one of them. Right there, 888-521-1168. So now it's showing one of the number pool calls. So if I land on this site and I call this number, it captures the URL. Super simple, guys, and super, super valuable if any of you guys have people calling from your website. So now you know where they come from. So now you know how to set it up on a GHL site. Now you know how to set it up on WordPress if you're using WordPress. Now I'm going to show you quickly how to use Tag Manager to add this code in. So if you already have Tag Manager and you're comfortable with it, you go to your Tag Manager, you go to tags. We're going to create a new tag. We're going to say it's custom HTML. We're going to add the JavaScript into the custom HTML section. We're going to set a trigger on all pages. We're going to save it, and we're going to name it GHL phone pool script. All right, and we're going to save that. And don't forget to submit and publish your container, and you're done. So if you already have Google Tag Manager on your site, you can just pop it into your GTM container, and now it'll work perfectly fine on your site, wherever your site has your GTM container. And that's it, guys. So now we know how to set up a number pool. Now we know how to capture all of our phone calls that are coming in and know exactly where they're coming from. So hopefully this provided some value to you guys. If you think it did and you want some more, like the video, subscribe down below. I look forward to creating more videos that hopefully bring value to you guys. If you're not using HighLevel and you want to use HighLevel, there's a really cool promotion going on that basically trains you on some AI stuff. I'll put a link down there. It also comes with a 30-day free trial of HighLevel. Beyond that, I have more videos to come. So again, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you have any questions or if you have any ideas on what you want me to make next. I'll look forward to the next video, and I'll see you guys soon.